everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. You know, you speak and I listen. I really try to interact with each and every one of you that I can out there. And one of you recently suggested during one of our review videos that we check out the U-Turn Audio Orbit turntable. And that's exactly what we're going to do here today.
I am the Edison phonograph. The more you become acquainted with me, the better you will like me. Ask the dealer.
Okay guys, so here it is. Now, when this box arrived, I usually try to remove the outer box from the inner box, so you don't have to watch me opening that boring part. But this turned out to be the actual box that the turntable is in, so that's why it's opened already. My apologies for that. I really tried to resist temptation and not dig into it, but I have to admit I did peek a little bit. I was just super excited. First thing I noticed, and this is just super cool, check this out. They send you a little card here that says, we hope this turntable brings new life to your music. If you need assistance or have any questions, please contact us. And then their contact info, which I thought that was a really nice touch. And that's glued right to that board there. Now, the next thing we have here is a cardboard that just opens up like that. And it looks like that's our platter. Now, one cool thing about U-Turn in researching this turntable, there's a couple of super exciting elements to this. The first thing is that these are made in the United States. These are not mass-produced in China like so much of the equipment that's out there. You know, for $179, and that's all this their entry-level turntables cost, you can get into a very high-end, a very quality vinyl experience with a completely made-in-America product, which is awesome. Okay, so here is the Platter. Now, this is the Orbit Plus. So there's a couple of upgrades. One of them is a Platter that is acrylic versus MDF. Now, MDF is medium density fiberboard, and it makes up a lot of, speaker cabinets are made out of MDF. MDF is good because it's a very low resonance material, and it's really good for platters and record player plinths, which we'll get into later. But if you want to upgrade even beyond that, the acrylic material even is more noise isolating and vibration isolating, even more so than MDF. And here is our felt mat, which we'll take a look at that. Now we'll take this piece off. Oh, now we're getting to the good stuff, you guys. In here we have an unlabeled padded envelope. So we'll see what's in there. We've got our instruction manual, some cables. Let me get up close here. Even got the good camera out today, guys, so I'm in manual focus mode. So we got the cables, we've got an extra belt, and a cool looking sticker. So if you're happy with it, display that prominently. Okay, so setting that aside for now, there is an insert here. One end is hollow, the other end says components enclosed. So it's this unit, feels like a power supply. So let's go ahead. And what's really cool, if you look into the story of these guys and gals, is they are doing this stuff by hand. I mean, this comes from Massachusetts, and these guys and gals are, building these materials, assembling these materials right here in the United States. This is custom made. They will build a turntable to your specification. So everybody's Orbit is unique, and you can really make it your own. All right, this is the dust cover, which is a very important element to have. So definitely hold on to that. And it's removable, so if you don't want to have it on the turntable the whole time, you don't have to. But like we've talked about before, I very much encourage you to keep that on when you're not using it. All right, and down in here now we have the turntable. I got the white one, and it's got this egg crating material here to protect it. So, I'm terrible about this part. So we'll just pull it out here. And yeah, let me go ahead and kind of set this up, and we'll come back and take a closer look. Okay guys, got some of the packing materials out of the way. Now, one of the first things I noticed is this turntable, even as is without the platter on it, it's pretty hefty. I mean, this is a pretty solid piece of material. Now, I believe the plinth is MDF. So like I said, MDF is very good for sound isolation. We're going to go ahead and pull the plastic cover off. And again, this plinth is an important part of the turntable experience because This material will isolate the vibrations, unwanted vibrations between the motor and the platter. So it's important not only is your platter an important material, a good material, but that the plinth is as well. So this is an MDF plinth, medium density fiberboard, and it's really, really good at isolating the sound. Okay, let's take this off, a little protector here. Again, all these components so far really feel like, you know, they're hand machined, built with quality, and that is super, super awesome. Let's go ahead and start by putting the platter on. And again, this acrylic material, you can get, you know, sort of the base model turntable from U-Turn will come with an MDF platter, which is great as well. But the acrylic is even more upgraded. Oh man, and this is hand machined, you guys. Just gorgeous. All right, we're gonna go ahead and set it on there. Oh, look at that. And then that look gorgeous. Unfortunately, we have to put a felt mat on top, which I think takes away from the look a little bit, but that's essentially it. You set that bad boy on there. Now we're gonna open this up, and inside of here, like I said before, we got the cables, which we'll need in a little bit. Got the sticker, which is awesome. Instruction manual, which you should read. However, I've done research before this. But what we need now is this. This is the belt. So this turntable is belt driven, which I feel is the best way to go because the belt driven turntable will isolate the motor from the spindle, therefore isolating the vibrations and giving you a cleaner sound. So all of these materials, MDF, the acrylic, the belt, all of these things help separate those two elements, and therefore that gives you more sound isolation. So we're gonna go ahead and put the belt on here. Higher end turntables have their motors up here versus hidden inside, so that's a good feature. We're going to simply put the belt around the platter. Easier said than done. I feel like there should be a channel for like a physical channel on this platter where it can hook into, but apparently that's not needed. So, okay, so we are going to pull it around like that. Wow, that feels loose, but by the way, this is a 2-speed turntable, 45 and 33 1/3. So the way you change speeds rather than a switch, this has a constant velocity motor. Again, that's a higher end feature. And to change speeds, you simply move the belt from one cog on this spindle to the other. So there you go. There's an on and off switch. There's the Tonearm. We're going to get a closer look at those things, but we're off to a good start, you guys. Okay, guys, I wanted to stop for a second so we can take a look at the bottom of this. So this is a solid piece of material, and the electronics and the wiring and everything are external to the unit, which is really important because that means this is not, you know, just hollow material. That's why it's so solid and hefty. So the wiring from the switch is external. The electronic components are external. You'll notice that there's 3 feet, 3 very soft rubber feet for further noise isolation. It's important to note that 3 legs is more sturdy than 4. If the first time I ever saw a 3-legged ladder when I was in the television industry, I thought they were crazy. I'm like, that's the ricketiest thing I've ever seen. And they're like, no. With 3 legs, there's always going to be contact made by all 3 of those, versus with 4 legs, sometimes it teeters. So that's why they do this. It's more stable. And then on the back, while I've got it, you know, close to the camera here, I just wanted to show you here. We've got the audio outputs and then the power switch, or not the power switch, but we have the button there for the amplification, so you can turn on or off the preamp. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is this Tonearm assembly. So again, this is all very precision equipment. I got mine with a cueing lever. That is extra, but I think highly worth it because I have shaky hands, and as you've seen, I have a tendency to drop the stylus or let it down too hard. So the anti-skate in here is preset, and you can see it's counterbalanced Tonearm, little twisty ties on here I'll take off. But the super exciting part is right down here. this guy right here. That is an Ortofon OM5E, I believe, stylus. And that stylus is a significant upgrade from a lot of what we've covered in the past here. It's even an upgrade from their base stylus, which is the Audio-Technica stylus. Again, you can have a number of different styluses put on this, even higher ones than this. But speaking of styli for a minute, there's two major types of moving magnetic cartridges and styli. The first being a conical stylus, which just has a rounded tip, conical. That's everything we've seen so far on this channel and a lot of what's out there. However, when you get to this mid-grade and higher end styli, you start dealing with what is called an elliptical stylus. And the actual stylus, the tip, is a little bit finer pointed and a little bit more accurate, so it will trace and track those grooves more accurately. Something that in researching this turntable I heard a lot of was getting more out of your records, and that was really new to me. I hadn't thought of it before like that. But you know, with the higher end equipment, higher end stylus, and you know, all the other things we've talked about, you're going to hear more from those records that you already own. So it's kind of like rediscovering your own collection. So, all right, let me finish putting everything together here, and let's give it a listen. Even though it's brand new, they collect dust. This is almost virgin. I've played it maybe once, and I might not even have played this side. So we're going to remove the stylus from the cradle. I did get the, if I can learn how to operate it, I did get the cueing lever. So we're going to lower the stylus down at the beginning of the record and hit that groove there and see what it sounds like.
Each place I go, only the lonely go, some little small.
And here is some Andrea Bocelli, different type of music, more of a classical vocal, almost operatic style. The sound is definitely rich, it's definitely full. Again, this is almost a brand new record.
What child is this who led to rest on Mary's lap? He's sleeping.
So there is zero motor rumble, table noise. I mean, it is just pristine. And the sound quality of the Ortofon cartridge is noticeably warmer, yet still accurate on the high end, but not as bright sounding as the Audio-Technica. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It actually has a very warm and rich register, yet being very full, encompassing on the sound that it reproduces. And as many of you already know, we have to listen to some Glenn Miller, so let's do that now. Obviously an older record, a little bit more crackly. That's not the turntable, that's definitely the record. I'm really listening to see what additional details we can get out of this record that I've heard so much before. But that is so bright and sharp, you could hear that crackling. Yet at the same time, it was so much more warm than I've heard it on a lot of other turntables as well. So I really do believe what everybody says about this Ortofon stylus and cartridge is that it really does have a warm sound. And I am hearing little details. It's hard to, you know, specify what I'm talking about, but I'm very familiar with these pieces that I'm playing for you. So I am noticing details that I so far have only heard in like the digital CD version. But, you know, I do love it. It sounds great. I want to try a couple different musical styles. This is straight opera and classical. So let's go ahead and give this a listen and see, you know, how sharp and how luscious this sound really is when it's reproduced.
I like the city of San Juan. I know what you can get on. I've got the flowers in Pulco. I'll have some people in Itzo. I like to be in America. Everybody in America. Everything in America. In America.
I'm very familiar with it, and there are nuances here that I've never heard before, even in a digital recording. Like the resonance of the clapping. This is a live recording. Listen to that. You can even hear the air at the event. The acoustics, slight breeze. It's amazing. I want to play a little Christmas music.
Melikilikimaka is a thing to say.
Wow, the bass on this is
on
amazing.
A bright Hawaiian Christmas day.
Hey guys, that I'm just gonna say right now, the bass on that is ridiculous considering, you know, this is a 65-year-old plus record pressing. Just phenomenal. The resonance on that, again, I'd never heard that before. So sound quality, this Stylus cartridge, the OM5E from Ortofon, however you say it, is absolutely astonishing. The built-in amplification is strong. I did a couple of records. I did have to turn it up a little bit. I think it's in the range of where it's supposed to be. You can turn that off, or you can use the external preamp. I use the built-in preamp, but the sound quality is just phenomenal. I mean, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, guys, that's all for this episode of Record-ology and the U-Turn Orbit Plus. A beautiful turntable. To summarize a couple of points, I think the materials are very high quality. The cartridge, the Ortofon OM5E, is brilliant. The stylus, in general, I think is very high quality. The Tonearm assembly, the head shell, the counterbalance, everything is good. The platter, I would recommend upgrading it. Again, when you go to their website, you can build your own turntable. Pick your color, pick your platter material. You can get the cork mat if you'd rather. Some people say those are better than the felt mat because they have less static. Just a great turntable. A couple observations. I think that the hinge on the lid assembly is very gentle, let's just say that. Some of them I've seen are a little bit more robust. This one you kind of have to rock it fully back to get it to stop, which is okay, just be aware of that. It does come on and off very easily, which is a good thing. The 3 legs on the bottom is very good too. Another thing I wanted to show you, if you look under here, something you'll see that's really cool, it's upside down there but at the bottom. These turntables are actually signed by the person who put this turntable together, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Something that you're going to really feel that you're getting a quality by hand touch of an actual person instead of just machines, you know, shooting out of a factory in China. And look, I've actually, the platter has come off because I tilted it back, so that's my bad there. The other thing I noticed too is that, first of all, this belt is a tubular rubber belt. So it's really easy to put on and off once you get the hang of stretching it around. I was worried that because there's no channel for it that it would slide off. It doesn't do that, it stays on just fine. I would like the spindle to be metal. I don't know why, this is plastic. They use an inverted bearing here, which works very well. And it'll sit there and spin for days on its own. It's very low friction, low noise. But for whatever reason, I don't know why, I would like to see that be metal. And then it always looks prettier without the felt mat on there. I just think that that's so cool looking. Just a beautiful turntable. I think you guys will really like it. Check it out. There's a link below where you can buy one. Otherwise, you know, go to the U-Turn website. And again, you can build your own, customized, and these are individually signed and supported. I believe it has a 2-year warranty. Sound was amazing. Very high quality turntable. I very much recommend it. This isn't an all-in-one unit. It doesn't play tapes. It doesn't do, you know, Bluetooth and all these other things. It plays records and it plays them really well. So that's what you want in a good record player. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Happy record hunting. Hit subscribe if you haven't done this already. See you next time.